Tonight, the hip-hop scene is ablaze. Nobody anticipated the controversy that Remy Ma just revealed. An explosive assertion: Claressa Shields is involved. Her own spouse, Papoose, has been embarrassed by her surprising pregnancy and hidden lover. Fans viewed this group as strong, impenetrable, and devoted for many years. However, in a startling turn of events, secrets have surfaced and trust has been destroyed. Social media is overflowing with rumors of betrayal, secret relationships, and a complex web of deceit, leaving admirers in disbelief and in a desperate search for clarification. Remy Ma's remarks are unadulterated, passionate, and hard to ignore. Even though Claressa Shields is praised in the boxing ring, she is currently up against the truth, rumors, and a public that is eager to learn the truth about what actually transpired. We explore the story that is fundamentally upending both hip-hop and sports culture. Tonight, never before has the atmosphere in sports and hip-hop been so dense. For many years, supporters viewed Claressa Shields and Remy Ma Papoose as symbols of bravery, devotion, and success. However, in a startling turn of events, secrets have come to light, and nothing seems the same. It started with whispered rumors floating in forums, murmurs, soft background chats, and subliminal clues that something wasn't quite right. Nobody wanted to believe it at first. The unbeaten boxing champion Claressa Shields, who was respected for her power and discipline, was well known for her supremacy in the ring. She could not be touched. And Remy Ma's devoted husband, Papoose, was the one who supported her during her hardships, years in jail, and her comeback. Although their link was thought to be impenetrable, fissures had been developing underneath it, and they would soon burst into an earthquake. It was an astonishing rumor. Claressa Shields was expecting a child. The rumors suggested differently, but that alone would have been hailed as news. The child was not her partner's, according to the murmurs, not out of loyalty or stability, but rather from a covert lover. The internet was ablaze with rumors for weeks, but when Remy Ma came out, everything suddenly came to light. Her remarks were sharp as a knife. Secrets are never truly buried. Truth has a way of surfacing, and when it does, everything in its path is burnt. The fans were taken aback. Was Remy Ma confirming what millions of people were scared to accept? Or were these simply rumors? Why would she discuss Claressa's predicament? As additional information became available, the solution became increasingly obvious. Insiders claim that Papoose was implicated in the storm, not as the guilty party, but his pride, devotion, and public image were all at risk as the guy was humiliated by the aftermath. Social internet erupted the instant Remy Ma revealed the truth. Within minutes, hashtags like #PAPA's drama and #CLSS a pregnancy started to circulate. Disbelief filled Twitter feeds. This isn't possible. Remy Ma recently made a shocking revelation. Claressa, a lover in secret. Not at all. Screenshots were reposted on Instagram pages. Every word of re-sentence was examined by TikTok developers. Additionally, YouTube live broadcasts appeared where viewers argued over whether the news was rumor, reality, or something else entirely. For Papoose, it was a great deal of shame. The guy who was formerly admired for his steady, devoted, and tranquil demeanor was suddenly in the news not because of his marriage or his music, but because he was involved in a scandal that he didn't start. Memes that depicted him as caught off guard, defeated, or helpless in a situation that was getting out of hand were all over the internet. It was inhumane for a man who took pride in his respect and dignity. Claressa Shields, however, said nothing. The world waited. But her camp made no announcement. Some admirers vehemently supported her. She is a victor. She has no obligation to provide an explanation. Others called for clarification. Why remain silent if this is untrue? Remy Ma's remarks felt heavier, harsher, and harder to ignore because of the quiet, which only served to feed the flames. To really comprehend how serious this affair is, you must consider the wider picture. There was more to this than a covert romance. in societies where reputation is crucial. It was about loyalty, trust, and reputation. The cultures of hip-hop and athletics are based on domination, pride, and respect. Behind closed doors, it was horrible to be exposed in this manner by someone as well-known as Remy Ma. According to insiders, Remy Ma is conflicted. She hadn't intended to talk, but she was driven to the brink by the incessant rumors, the never-ending conjecture, and the way the scandal was bringing Papoose's name into disarray. Her choice to reveal the truth was motivated by more than just Claressa. It was also a desire to protect her family, regain her honor, and prevent her husband from being humiliated in silence. She made one point very plain in her remarks: there are repercussions for betrayal. She didn't yell, she didn't become angry, she talked with the composure of someone who had experienced storms before and realized that falsehoods are only strengthened by quiet. Her voice had weight, which her fans could sense that was more than mere rumors. It was intimate. Every viewpoint was consumed by the media. The question of whether Remy Ma had gone too far was discussed on talk shows. Did she have the right to disclose Claressa's predicament? Was Claressa the target of an attack, or was Papoose being protected? The headlines cried out. Remy Ma speaks up. Claressa protects her unborn child from her hidden lover as the truth comes to light. Papoose is embarrassed. Fans saw the incident as tragic, dramatic, and entertaining. Some expressed sympathy for Papoose, referring to him as the innocent victim of secrets he had never requested to be involved in. Others went to Claressa and insisted that she confront the storm head-on. Throughout it all, Remy Ma's name reverberated with both praise and criticism for her courage in disclosing information that some felt should have remained confidential. However, the truth had already been revealed, and once it was out, it couldn't be undone. What would happen next was the question at hand. Would Claressa answer back? Would Papoose manage to recover his honor? Would Remy Ma's decision to come clean bring her family together or drive the hip-hop community even more apart? One thing was certain as the internet raged: the following part of this drama would be much more explosive than the first. So it was far from done. The worlds of hip-hop and athletics erupted in uproar when Remy Ma's incendiary remarks went viral online. The fans were taken aback. There were rumors circulating, the streets that looked almost too crazy to be real, and journalists scrambled to cover every angle. The unbeaten champion, Claressa Shields, was at the center of it all, the honor of female boxers. However, instead of being yelled in stadiums, her name was now being muttered in gossip websites. It was an obvious charge, a betrayal that had an impact well beyond the ring. A secret pregnancy and a secret lover. Claressa, however, said nothing. No interviews, no tweets, and no answers to reporters who were trying to find her. And her image changed during that quiet. She was referred to as elegant by several supporters for not adding fuel to the flames. Others accused her of being guilty, arguing that her silence demonstrated the validity of Remy Ma's allegations. She didn't say anything every day. The rumors became louder. Papoose, meanwhile, saw his world fall apart. He has been hailed for years as the man who remained steadfastly devoted to Remy Ma during his incarceration, unwavering in love, the epitome of dedication in a betrayed business. However, the shame was profound now that the image was broken in front of millions. Social media was brutal. He was ridiculed by memes. He was portrayed as an idiot in tweets. Papoose wrote love letters through prison. "And this is how life repays him," said one message that went viral. "It's the most loyal man in hip-hop," says another. Ashamed of secrets he didn't even invent. He was not overcome by fury. It was dishonorable. According to close acquaintances, he started shutting himself away, ignoring calls, canceling appearances. The guy who had previously proudly stood at his wife's side was now a ghost, running away from a society that had made him the subject of a scandal. However, humiliation has a way of making you angry. Additionally, sources claim that one night when fury flared, A heated confrontation between Papoose and Remy Ma descended into violent yelling, slamming doors, and broken furniture. For hours, neighbors said they could hear yelling. The story took off once police records were released. Papoose, previously praised as the defender, the guy is now seen as the aggressor. He was placed under arrest. Headlines that said, "Papoose arrested after domestic dispute," were splattered with his mugshot. The destruction was intolerable to Remy Ma. She had spoken out in rage, maybe thinking she was defending herself or that the world deserved to know the truth. But the consequences of her words were now evident in the fragments of her marriage, pictures of her leaving their house, with her face hidden behind a sweatshirt, and tears flowing emerged. She appeared more like a woman crushed beneath the weight of decisions that couldn't be reversed than the ferocious queen of New York hip-hop. Supporters were splits. She had several supporters. She said it as it was. Remy is not at fault for the consequences. She was attacked by others. She ruined her family in order to make someone else feel inferior. And Claressa continued to be a mystery. She did what she usually did, even though the world was tearing itself apart over whether she was guilty or innocent. Videos of her working out became viral on the internet over time. The sound of gloves striking pads reverberated. Her nonverbal cues were quite clear. "I won't elaborate. I refuse to bow. I'm going to fight a dot to certain people." This was the arrogance of authority to others. However, she was untouchable because she refused to compromise. Claressa Shields came to represent perseverance rather than controversy. The thrill of breaking her quiet was not something she was offering the world. Everyone was plagued by the unresolved question. Who was the purported lover of The Secret? Was there one at all? Did no names ever come to light? No evidence ever surfaced. There are just murmurs, shadows, and Remy Ma's remarks reverberating across podcasts and blogs. Nevertheless, everything had been overturned by those words alone. Claressa's image, Remy Ma's marriage, and Papoose's reputation were all permanently changed. Weeks went by, and the craziness gradually subsided. The internet continued to evolve, seeking fresh controversies and news stories. However, the scars persisted for individuals in the center. Papoose had to face the most difficult truth of all. Loyalty was the foundation of his identity. Yet it had not rescued him. Rather, it had left him exposed, prone to mockery and eventual collapse despite his best efforts. He was still unsuccessful. Remy Ma paid a price she could never have imagined for speaking the truth. She had exposed herself by exposing someone else. The lady who had formerly stood tall, unfazed by industry struggles and a jail term, now stood by herself. Her admirers were split, her marriage broke down, and her tears served as a warning that even the strongest people may fail. And with fire in her eyes, Claressa Shields returned to the ring while wearing gloves. The controversy was like background noise to her. She battled and prevailed. She held her belts high as she stood. It appeared to be a victory to the outside world, but skepticism persisted in her. Detractors murmurs. This was not only a controversy anymore, it was a moment of culture, a reminder that even the most well-known people may be caught up in the muck. Rumor and truth can mix together so well that nobody can tell them apart. That even the strongest ties may be broken by the powers of loyalty, silence, rage, and treachery. And the lesson became evident. As the dust settled, the truth does not liberate you in a society where secrets are valuable. And silence may speak louder than words. It ensnares you in a maelstrom from which you can never truly recover.